How are we doing, YouTube? Steve here. Oh, it is whatever it is, 6:30 at night. Tuesday? Yeah, I guess it's Tuesday. That delivery went okay. Actually, it went better than okay. I got there on time. I wasn't late this week, so that was good. And I got there, and there was several, I won't say several, 3 or 4 JB Hunt trailers there. And I walked in, nice fella. He said, hold on a minute, and off he goes and brings my bills back in a minute or two later, and he says, all right, put this in door 11 and you can have the trailer in door 12. It's done. So, oh, that's good. I said, they said it was going to be a live load. He said, nah, we got an empty, you can have it. And which is good, because that trailer was plumb full and they unload them by hand, so it would have been a couple hours. So we did that, but then kind of messed us up, because I was figuring a couple hours to get unloaded, and then we had to go to Akron, and Akron is only about 25 miles away, Ohio, Akron, Ohio. And so I was like 3 hours early there, and they don't even start shipping until 3 o'clock. So there was no chance of getting up. I asked the boy when I finally got in the door if they load early. He said, nah, not really. He said, you can ask. He said, there's never, you you never know. He said, but that's why I've been here a while, and I wasn't sure. And he said, nah. He said, this load, he said, it pretty much just got ready anyway, so it wouldn't have mattered today. But he said, you can ask. Well, now I know they ship that every Tuesday, that load. Because there's only like 8 skids on there, and it's only 1,000 pounds. But now I know that if I go back, don't even think about being earlier than 3, because it's not going to work. They ain't going to load you, which is a good thing to know. I hope I don't need to know it for very much longer. I need to start running that hopper, because there's just as much money in that hopper, if not more, than this stuff. There's definitely there's as much. Let me rephrase that. As long as the volume is there, then it should be just as much. And I've gotten several emails over the last week of people wanting me to haul hopper freight that is pretty much as good. Some of it a little better, but I don't know that world enough in terms of rates to know for sure. The problem with hopper bottom is this. So when you're loaded, pays well. The problem is that depending on what you do, a lot of times you're empty half the time. So if you do a little shorty and you're just doing that loop, stupid cough. If you're doing that little shorty and you're empty half the time, well, now you got to factor that in, and it becomes not as good or just as well on a per mile basis. But it's kind of like these loads that I'm running for these guys. The trade-off is right in a bad spot, where the loads that run a day, where you run 400, 500 miles, after they're cut, doesn't really pay that well. $1.50 on the high side ish, a little less than that for the round trip. It might pay a little bit more than that going. It's going to pay maybe that much or a little bit less coming back. Long story short, for the longer runs that take a whole day, and then you got to unload and reload on one end, so it's tough to maximize that clock and get the miles. Because like these loads that I've been running, yeah, the mileage rate has been a little bit better. Well, what's it been? I've been running, I didn't put it on here. I've been running this other one. I have 2 different books. One that I write down possible loads, and one that I write down the loads I actually do. So like this load going to Ohio was $2.16 a mile. And this market and dry van, that's respectable. $1.68 coming back. This load I'm on right now, $1.68 coming back. Not quite so good. But if you average it between the two, you're in the upper dollar, 70, 80 range. But now on this load though, you got to take out the tolls, because I'm running back the toll road too. So that blows everything clean out of the water. It becomes not good at all. The load I'm going to do to pick up Wednesday, deliver Thursday, a little shorty. I've done this for Syracuse back up to Elgin, $2.82 a mile, but it's only 159 miles, and it takes 3/4 of the day to do it. And if there's not anything on the other end to pick up in South Elgin, now if there was something to pick up in South Elgin that I could do, it'd be a little bit better deal. And I'll look and see if there is. But the last time I looked, there wasn't. I couldn't make a loop. And now with my running on recaps, it's a bit of a challenge. Anyway, long story short, running with these guys, there's a load that was 219 miles. That was $1.77. I didn't Findlay to Aurora. Oh, I did do that load, Findlay to Aurora. What did I get going though? I got 309 going, Chicago to Findlay. So that load averaged out okay, but it's only 245, 279 miles. You can't string together enough miles to get the day rate up where I really want it to be. Now, I think part of that is the fact that the money just isn't in the dry van right now. I was looking on DAT though. I can run DAT, but then I got to rent a trailer or buy a trailer, dry van. I don't really want to get any more debt. I don't really want to buy a dry van because I really don't want to pull the dry van. I want to pull a hopper or something like that. Long story long, right now in this market, I need to be pulling a hopper and give it a try. This was always supposed to be, JB Hunt was always, the plan was always to try them out for a few weeks, a month or so, which is about what we're at right now. Next week will be a month. And see how they are. And that's what we've done. And like I said, they're not terrible. I don't think, I might title the video this, it's going to take you a long time to get to it, but I don't think you can run a lease truck and do this. My truck payment is high, but it's not like a lease truck high, like a Schneider lease. There just ain't enough meat on the bone, I don't think, to do that. Yeah, I just don't think you could. I don't know about running under there. I don't know the difference in the boards, but my guess is they ain't paying a lot more on that other board, their 360 board, than they are on this power only board. Matter of fact, it's probably less because they take a bigger cut. It's definitely, it wouldn't be much more, I'd about guarantee you that. So I'm saying, I just don't think there's enough. Now fuel, it's bad, but it's going to be summertime. That's going to make fuel prices start to go up a little bit. So I just don't. And the runs, at least that are on these boards, that you can run longer stuff, but I seen some stuff on there that by the time they took their cut out, it'd be $1.10 a mile. And a lot of them, not like $1.10 a mile get me out of Florida up to Georgia or one of the Carolinas. There was a load that was in Florida that came back to all the way up to right next to my hometown, Valparaiso, and it only paid $1.10 a mile. Fuel $60. Now it paid okay going in, but it didn't pay okay enough to do that. And coming out of Georgia wasn't that much better. I mean, it's a little bit better, but it wasn't that much better. I almost ran that load, but it was over the weekend. I didn't want to be going over the weekend, and it was way down into Florida. But anyway, I don't know. Yeah, this will be a good fallback. JB will be a good fallback if I ever need something to do for some reason. And running hopper or some local stuff is really the way to go, because you can be home every day. You're not spending that money on the road. And I think especially in these times, that's where you want to be. So anyway, all right, everybody, I just wanted to check in tonight. I got nothing but time waiting for my clock to reset. So God bless. We'll talk again soon.